Hey guys. Well, you know, one thing I like as well as blue skies and birds singing and warm air is the sound of a V8 diesel. And that is coming from this. Thought there'd be time for you guys to meet what I call super truck. I bought this truck recently off eBay. I had to go all the way to Texas to get it. Really like these Ford diesels. Let's give you the once around here. This is a 93 F-250, 3/4 ton, all wheelbase diesel. We drove out there in one car and picked this one up and just drove it back. I paid $2,400 for this truck. I think that was a pretty good price. It came from Texas, as I said, so no rust. No real issues with it whatsoever. It's got about 243,000 miles on it. It's got the little bit of clear coatage coming off up there and on the hood from the scorching hot Texas sun. And that's the wheels on it. I'll touch on that again in a minute though. Got this big locomotive pusher bumper on the front, which I really like. It's got your basic interior XL. It's not a whole lot to show you on this. It's just in decent shape. It's kind of interesting. This is an XL truck, but it's got tilt wheel and cruise control. It's got air conditioning. I had the air conditioning reworked, looks like. Cloth seat. Got the back seat back here, jump seat. Hood. 5-speed, of course. I'm not dealing with one of those E4OD transmissions on one of these, no way. Toolbox back here, right in it. IDI diesel, not turbo. One thing I've had to do is I've had to buy batteries for it. Both the batteries died, one after the other. They were old. And I'll show you about these wheels back here. I just went and bought 2 new tires and put them on steel wheels for the back of this truck, and I'll tell you why I did that. These are nice looking wheels and tires, but the problem is they are 16 and a half. And you can't hardly get any 16 and a half anymore. And I don't know if you can see it, but they are dried out. They're dry. So we did drive it all the way back with no problems. They're out of balance a little bit, about 65 miles an hour. But I'm pulling those off and gonna sell those, see what I can get out of them, and run those temporarily. And I'm gonna buy a couple more wheels to match the front up there, because those got 16s on the front. And I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of this skinny in the front and wide on the back look on a truck anyway. Not for me, so I'll get those taken care of. So I've already spent about, I've already spent close to 500 bucks today just on batteries and tires already. So I'm going home. My debit card's got a crack down the middle of it, and that's what it's from probably. But, so yeah, I want to show y'all guys something else too. You see this? It doesn't matter, you can read that. I don't care, but cover that little part of it. See, that's a drive out tag there. It says Texas buyer. Well, This is an illustration, another illustration of how backwards Alabama is. Alabama will not issue drive-out tags for vehicles. When you buy them from a dealer, you don't get one. At least it may have changed lately, but forever and ever it's been that way. You don't get a drive-out tag. What you do get, you can get a piece of paper and a magic marker, and you can write on it, tag applied for, which means nothing, because down here in Alabama, you don't apply for any license plates except if you get a custom tag, and you have to order those. But every other tag, you don't apply for any license plate. That's a lie. It's a total out and out fabrication. You just go down to the courthouse and buy the plate and walk out with it. So why Alabama's like that, I do not know. But I got my tag, and that tag is good through the end of May up there if I want to keep running it. But he did tell me one thing that was interesting. He said that in Texas, and you folks that live in Texas can correct me if I get this wrong somehow, but he said something to the effect of, when you went down to get your registration done, that it doesn't matter exactly how much you actually paid for it, like your ad valorem tax, what we call ad valorem tax here. See, when we buy a plate here, we just buy one plate. When we buy a plate here, they figure the taxes on how much you actually paid for it. But he said out there, though, they figure your taxes when you purchase it based on how much they think it's worth. So if you bought a $7,000 truck, but you only paid $4,000 for it, it doesn't matter. If they think it's worth $7,000, you're paying $7,000 worth of taxes on it. That's kind of a rip-off, if you ask me. But that's the way they do it. I guess it's like house tax. And another thing, I'm going to upgrade. That's a Class 3 hitch right there. I'm going to upgrade that to a Class 4 or 5, because the truck can pull more than what that hitch is rated for. That hitch is rated for 5,000 pounds without a weight reduction. What do they call it? Weight leveling hitch on the back of it. So I'm going to do that. That tire's kind of worn out right there. Walker thing. All right, guys, I'm going to do my best to drive back with this camera set up somewhere. Let's see if I can get it put up somewhere here, since I don't need to be holding it. Maybe I'll put my Motel 6 travel guide under it to hold it up. There we go. You ready? Yeah, I like these trucks, man. I had one of these before. I put a lot of miles on it. It's getting though, you just can't buy a diesel Ford truck cheap anymore. Not real cheap. I'll tell you an interesting story though. When we were coming back, we bought this thing down in Hearn, Texas, which is kind of northwest of College Station. It's about 750 miles away, so we spent the night going down there in Jackson with the F-250 and Mississippi, and then we drove on down the next day, picked it up, and came back. We made it back as far as Tyler, Texas. Isn't that nice? They named the city after me. And we stayed the night in Tyler. When we got into Tyler, Texas, it came a monsoon and just a huge rainstorm. So we're tooling along there, you know, and residents. Anyway, we're tooling along, and we hit the downtown there, and man, it was water just pouring down the street, just like it was flooding a bit. So I thought, well, I said, I don't need to slow down for any reason. I said, I've got a big truck, I'll just plow right on through. So that's what I did. And I did that about 2 or 3 times, and on the 3rd time I heard something squeal up front up here, and all of a sudden I lost my power steering and the charge light came on, and I was like, oh no man, don't tell me I threw the belt off. And sure enough, I threw the doggone serpentine belt off because it got water on it. So we had to I had to pull into I don't know what it was, a laundromat that had an overhang on the front of it, and I had to pull the truck way up in there real quick so we could work on it. It took us about 20 minutes to get the belt back on. So that was fun, and then the next morning got up to leave, and the only other thing wrong with this truck is going to need fixed in the future sometimes is that the injector caps are leaking, the O-rings are leaking a little bit, and what happens when they leak up there, it's got, you know, it's got external injectors. It's not like a power stroke where they're under the valve cover. What happens is when those things leak, they, I guess I could go here. They leak, they don't necessarily leak out diesel out externally, but they, when you turn it off, they pull air in, so it kind of loses its prime. So unbeknownst to me, the battery, one battery was bad already, and it's starting off one battery left that was not too awful good either. So we tried to get it started there at the motel, and it wouldn't start. It ran about 2 or 3 seconds and quit, and ran the battery down trying to get it started again. So that happened. Had to go buy a battery, so one battery. So we had a time of it. We were ready to get back home after that. I actually bought this truck for one reason specifically, because this guy will go around here. I bought this truck specifically because I plan to be moving out of here. I plan to be moving out of here in July, end of July, when the lease is up here. But I got informed by my supervisor this past week that I'm in line for promotion of some sort. So I don't know what that's going to do. I hadn't planned on that. I've been doing the same job at the same place, you know. I ain't really told you guys what I do, but I'm out on the road working, driving a lot, and I have a route that I worked, and I've been doing that for the same route for, how long has that been? Since 06, about May of 06. So, you know, I thought that was it. I was about done with that. I was about to hang it up. So I don't know what this promotion deal is going to do. I really want to get out of here regardless, because Lyle's over there working on his boat. I think he's trying to pull the engine out of that boat or something. But I want to get out of here because this is a nice old place, but it's just too small. And I just, it's not my kind of place. You know, I've already covered that. You guys know that. So anyway, here's Super Truck. So don't really plan to see a lot of videos on this truck. It's just not something I'm going to be tinkering with much. It's just to be, you know, used as a truck. So no, I hope I'm not going to sell anytime soon. I'd be stupid if I was. So all right guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.